last forever. We'll go beyond, 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 beyond. It's been a while now since love's been in this place. You see, many have tried, but no one could take your place, girl. Why you so beautiful? I see the future in your face, baby. Never in a million years I thought that you'd be mine, girl. That you'd be mine, girl. Never thought I would fall. No, never. But my heart's been stolen again. But my heart's been stolen. Last forever. We will go. Ooh, baby. We will go, baby. We keep going and growing, girl. The best thing is knowing, girl. Cause when we KISSING, all I can say is OMG. My love in my life, you make all things right, baby. I trust you, girl, with my life. I don't want nobody but you. I'ma put my ring on you. Never thought no, never. Ooh, baby. Again. This time, hope it lasts forever. We'll go beyond. We will go so far. Beyond, beyond. You always find what you're looking for, and you ain't looking for a thing. We ain't looking for a thing. Yeah, you always find what you're looking for, and you ain't looking for a thing. Never thought never thought no, never. Ooh, baby. Been stolen again. This time, hope it lasts forever. You hope, baby. I hope it lasts forever, girl. I hope it lasts forever, girl. Hey, 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 hey. We will go, baby. We will go, baby. Ooh, we will go, baby. We will go so far, baby. I hope it lasts forever, baby.
Yo, I think I'm gonna really give up this life. Just try to be a better guy, But wait. Man, they got a good girl, and they really feel they go treat you a certain way.
I understand. So what's up with you?
Girls, some things you gotta kind of resolve. I think I can just, apologize and start fresh and clear the slate, and hopefully, that will work out for me.
Well, if it makes you happy, give it a try. She deserves it, right?
Hey, give you a call and see how it works out, man.
Let me know how it goes.
For sure. Thanks, man.
No problem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, baby, how you doing? Before you hang up, can you just listen for a while? I was stupid, I'll admit it. Should've never done anything to take away your smile. So I dropped my pride, all my cards are laid. I know I hurt you most definitely, and I'm trying to make it right. I wanna take away your pain. Said you need your space and you're trying to live, but I'm really hoping that you can forgive me. I'm wrong, I wrote this song, it's been too long. Forgive me, baby. Baby, please, this is my apology. I was wrong, I was wrong. Don't you leave, this is my apology. I was wrong, I was wrong. So baby, can I come over and show you how sorry I am? I'll make you my lady tonight. Oh, if you want it, put your request in and I'll be on it. We'll make sweet love all through the night. Oh, I didn't know you would pick up the phone, and now I'm wondering if you were alone, girl. If so, just let me know. I wanna plan a rendezvous. Please forgive me, don't turn away. I wanna try again starting today, honey. I'll fight, I'll treat you right. See me tonight, I'll fix this, baby. Baby, please, this is my apology. I was wrong, I was wrong, girl. Don't you leave, this is my apology. I was wrong, I was wrong. Don't you leave, no, no. I was wrong, I apologize. Oh, believe me, I do. I apologize. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Ooh, I'm sorry. I am. I'm sorry. I am. Baby, ooh, I'm sorry. Ooh, I'm sorry. I am. I'm sorry. I am. Baby, please, this is my apology. I was wrong. I was wrong, girl. Don't you leave. My apology. Oh, baby, please. Ooh, I was wrong. I apologize. This is my apology. I do. I apologize. I was wrong.
Hello.
Hey babe, what you doing?
Nothing.
Can you come over?
Yeah, not easy.
Anybody ever told ya what a woman really is? If you ever get the moment, show them how much they give. You're a shoulder I can cry on, arms I can embrace. Is to hear my deepest thoughts, protect her night and day. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. You are amazing, cause you have given life. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. You're all amazing, I try to describe. You are woman, yes you are, yes you are. You are woman, yes you are, yes you are. You are woman, yes you are, yes you A nurturer you are. You bless us with your wisdom, and you tended every scar. You have found me broken. You have shown me light. You ignited all my passions and loved me through the night. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. You are all amazing, cause you have given life. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. You are all amazing. I try to describe, you are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are, you are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are, you are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are, you are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are.
To be a woman is to be blessed with unparalleled intuition, to be powerful. Power independent of place or position. To be a woman is to be a mother, giving birth to sons and daughters, ideas, institutions, and business ventures. To be a woman is to be the current inspiration, the future aspiration of a young lady, of a little girl.
You're a masterpiece of harmony, a melody of light. You're a gem, a diamond flower in spring, you're one of a kind. You're a masterpiece of harmony, a melody of life. You're an African queen flower in spring, you're one of a kind. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. So you are amazing. I try to describe, you are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are, you are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are, you are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are, you are woman. You are woman. You are woman. You are. Yes, you are, yes, you are. You are woman. You are woman. You are woman. Hey. And when obstacles manifest as natural, you are born for this.
To be a woman is to be the heart of the system, to be the one who brings life into our world.
Warning. What you are about to hear goes against traditional romantic counsel expressed by friends, family, and Instagram memes and quotes. Open-mindedness is advised.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, and welcome to another edition of the Senate Podcast. I am your host, Neil. He is your host and my brother from another mother, Derek. Yep, he's there with the sound effects, on and all.
Here.
And we are here with another edition of the Senate Podcast where we talk the things. Wait, man. Wait. I got. Give me that day again, because I had a noise suppression on you. Yes. Yes, Tango Foxy spammers were indeed early. Crystal Codrington. Thanks for joining us. Derek, how you doing, my brother? How is everything? How is life treating you? What is the happenings?
I'm here, man. The cash show. I am pretty all right. Had a pretty good workout this evening, which is always a good thing for me. So I am feeling pretty good. Cannot complain. Can't shout. Naps out tomorrow.
Jeez,
I'll give me some sun and heat, but
condolences.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it so much. How about you, man? What's going on your end?
Man, good, you know. Had a good workout today as well. Today was a really hot day. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, man, I good overall. You know, just trying to take it easy mentally, physically trying to push my body. You know, it is. I would say though, and we can get into it on this. Shout out to Rick, man. Sweet but bird pick. That's true. Hail Marlon. Hail Austin. What I was saying is that you know, we can get into it in this show. Obviously, y'all see the title, but you know, there's a lot. It was a lot to process since last Thursday. So I would say mentally, I've been. And you know what's funny? What happened last Thursday helped to mentally focus me when it comes to what we're doing and the space we in and some of the content that I see and stuff like that, right? But anyhow, that's not what we're not gonna talk about right now. We can get into the show. Tell me, my brother, we got some sweet singing fellas at the top of the program there, so you know, the main acapella group out of Barbados. To me, they're the best in the Western Hemisphere because we don't know anything about the East. So tell me, my brother. Tell me about
that's
that
G-Syndicate, man. That's G-Syndicate. Those guys are awesome. You know, because they sing with them. Fantastic vocalists. Kioma, Waden, Mark, Brett, my guy Hugh, doing good things all the time, big things all the time. So, yeah, man, we just trying to ride the wave of crop over and thing. Not to come up for crop over, but, you know, trying to negotiate, kind of ride that wave and see how it goes, you know? But, yeah, man, big at the man, large off the man.
Right. So, as I was saying, you know, we are the Senate Podcast. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Just like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. We do content for you 5 days a week. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We do the Senate Short, which are a bit more light-hearted and a bit more absurd in some of the Mama dynamic stories and stuff that we bring to you. But we decide
to cover my Alves, man.
Alves. Yeah. And
Eduardo
Alves. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we come here at 8 p.m. and we talk the things on the Senate Podcast. Now, of course, this is no different. Tonight, we will be getting into things. And, you know, every Tuesdays and Thursdays before the live stream, Derek will go on our social media pages, particularly Facebook. You can check us out, the Senate Facebook page, the Senate Podcast Facebook page. You could go on there, give us a like and a follow. But Derek went on there and he posted a topic. Now, tonight's topic is going to be centered around Kevin Samuels and his legacy, what we learn or could not learn from him, and what happens after his death for the red pill, for men, for women, for men and women. Because there, as I was saying when you were asking me how I was feeling and everything like that, like it really was a lot in the last, how many ever days since Thursday, because not only did we have to deal with the passing of somebody that we thought was an inspiration to us, and that is from the standpoint of him wanting men and women to do and choose better, you know what I mean, do better in their lives, etc. And also too, because of this man passed, people pretty much had a rain dance. People celebrated. Right? And to me, a lot of people could not juxtapose celebrating a man's death that was so, according to them, hateful toward black women versus what we thought was in good taste. If somebody you don't like dead, if they die, you ain't gonna celebrate it. Like I
Just
wouldn't
keep your
say,
mouth shut, you know, keep
yeah,
it trucking.
like there are some people in the world that are complete scumbags, and they're well-known people. If they were to pass away, you ain't gonna see me and Derek say, well, me. I know Derek is the same way. We ain't gonna say Pete. A man pass or a woman pass, a woman might pass or a man pass, right? And like we can break up the night rest behind the man. We ain't asking nobody to break up the night rest over the man's passing. Just show a little class, show a little thought, right? But regardless, first before we get into the topic, there, before you, I know you have a monologue prepared and everything like that. I think it important to kind of speak a bit about what Kevin Samuels meant to this platform, right? I think that to me that is important. It is important because I know a lot of people don't necessarily like his message. Derek and myself, we've had discussions many a time about his message and the way he does stuff and delivers stuff, and we agree almost. We agree with things that he said. We don't agree with everything that he said. And then, of course, we didn't necessarily get down to where he had the callers call in and he would, go on back and forth with them sometimes because sometimes it would get classless, tasteless, right? But by and large, we agreed with some of the things he said. We like the fact that he was fact driven and data driven, and that he was trying to hold people accountable for the bad decisions in their life. Everybody, and he spoke about high value men in the context of of America. So a lot of women want these high value men, and he was speaking about how a lot of women want high value men, but they're not what they want. They're not reflective of what they want. And he was essentially trying to get any and everybody that would listen to pay attention and to take stock. So we started this space because of the red pill. We felt that we had something to say, and we thought that he was one of the influences of that because he carried himself with a certain level of decorum in terms of his physical dress, and then of course how he approached arguments and how he dealt with arguments for the most part was well done. He never got out of his frame most of the time, and he spoke with facts and not feelings, which is something that we try to do here. So Derek came up with this topic, and I think it is only fair, in true Kevin Samuels fashion, that Derek does his monologue before we start getting into a back and forth discussion. We engage everybody that is in comment section. We thank everybody for joining us. Thank you for the subscription and everything like that. So give us a like and or dislike, share, most important. So Derek, over to you, my brother.
Yeah, thank you, Chief. I am here, sans glasses today, so hopefully I can get to the end of this without too many incidents. But yeah, man. Yeah, tonight is a little different. I thought about dressing it up, but I said, you know what? I mean, not people already said he's a bitch, Kevin Samuels. I don't know how to take that, given some of the stuff I've seen over the weekend, right? But
right.
Having said all that, what struck me is that there are many reasons why people listen to other people, right? We listen to other people speak, and very often we listen to respond. These days, we listen to get offended. Yeah. Unfortunately, too often understanding isn't on the list of reasons why we listen, right? So tonight we can talk about the man who came to be known as the Godfather, Kevin Samuels. Yeah, I like to use the movie titles for the names of these shows, and they almost went with "They Spit on Your Grave." But since the grave hasn't been dug yet, he decided, let me just go with the more appropriate Godfather. Right?
Well, the thing about it is, there will always be content, always be talking points. So
it's probably gonna come up.
It's gonna come up, right? Yeah, man.
And I found that his content is a case study in people listening for different reasons, right? Many people watch these salacious clips on social media, World Star Hip Hop, Media Takeover, etc., and formed opinions about him without really delving into the meat of the talking points, right? Now, don't get me wrong, Kevin Samuels is indeed a polarizing figure, folks. And most of his detractors, they often took umbrage with the delivery of his message. if not the message itself, right? And disclosure, in the interest of full disclosure, when I first watched Kevin Samuels, if I'm being very honest, I bristled how he said things, right? Not the things he said, but how they were said. Right? I found his delivery to be extremely blunt and on the cusp of offensive. Sometimes it was offensive. But that is because, Neil, we are accustomed to handling women with kid gloves, right? So that kind of direct communication, because that's all right between men. That kind of direct communication is all right between men. But when it comes to men communicating with women, that kind of communication could be a little bit jarring, right?
Mm-hmm.
But more importantly, I also realized that I couldn't dispute many of the talking points he made. So for me, this is how I used to watch a Kevin Samuels show, right? I would watch a monologue, which is how we get here on Tuesday, Thursday, right? I'll watch a monologue, but very often I didn't watch the calling segment of the show, right? I watched a monologue to hear the talking points he would make, because in that regard, Kevin Samuels is truly brilliant in terms of his talking points, right? The talking points are rooted in facts, data, and statistics, as he would say. And the use of facts, data, and statistics rules out emotions and feelings and keeps the arguments on point, topics at hand, right? And by relying on numbers, which is something that we don't do very often, right? By relying on numbers, he's able to not get caught up in the distractions and the deflections which the callers would use when they call in, right? And that is why Neil and I, we operate, or at least try to, from a place a launching pad of data and statistics, facts, right? That's why we do what we do here, right? Now, let me be clear, right, folks? And I don't want this to sound like a eulogy, right? But we can get into it, don't worry. The Godfather was an equal opportunity offender, right? Who offended men and women. It must be noted that the people who called in to his show did so voluntarily, men and women. They didn't ask them to call. They did so of their own volition. And to prove that, hey, if them didn't call, there won't be the calling segment. Neil and I ask y'all to call in. Sometimes when they don't call in, we don't have a calling in segment. Easy so, right? But those people kept calling in, right? Because they wanted to get his advice, get his input, for whatever reason. A lot of them, I figure, just wanted to be seen. A lot of them, I suspect, wanted to see if they could put themselves out there for some man to say, hey, she look good, let me rest. You know, I think there's a bit of that in it too. But a lot of people called in. Some of us, I suspect, trying to win an argument, saying that their story is a little bit different. So that's why they called in, right? But let me be clear. The men used to get rougher than the women. But we like to ignore that fact, right? There's the infamous "Do you have a big dick?" clip, which went viral well before average at best, right? Nobody don't care about that either, right? So let me look at a screenshot here. Let me look at a screenshot of some of the stuff that he would have said to men. And this screenshot comes from a lady who's Jillian. Not sure it was the pronunciation there, but she made this post and they found it interesting. Just let me know when you got me there.
Yeah, we do.
And it says, since y'all can remember what Kevin said about the women, let me help y'all reiterate some things he said about men. 1, beta men with beta traits are not suitable for wives. They can't protect their women.
Wait. You gotta play that "Oh My God" for me. I had a... Yeah, yep.
2, unmarried men are looked upon as unstable. Yeah. 3, men that date women with no intentions to marry are jokesters. Men that are average are only subjected to get average or below average women. Right now, we're seeing that this stuff a little rough, right? 5, men that don't make enough money to even provide for themselves shouldn't date, as in shouldn't date at all, point blank period, right? 6, men that have no leadership skills have no husband qualities. Facts. 7, women aren't the enemy. Oh, but let me read that again. 7, women aren't the enemy. Socially awkward beta men need to work on their approach on meeting women. Yeah. So they might talk about women. They ain't talk about men. 8, men that are not in control of their emotions have no ability to be in control of a family. Right? She says, yes, I was a fan. I enjoyed learning about men that are healthy to be in my space and the ones I should keep away. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. And that's a woman that wrote that, huh? So we got that clear, right? And that's some of the stuff he would have said to and about men, right? Now, he passed away last week, and since then we've seen outpourings of love, respect, and tribute. And we've seen just as much outpouring of celebration, hate, and vitriol expressed on social media, right? And of course, you hear the word misogyny and its derivatives a lot when his name is mentioned. But was he really that, right? Or was he simply a man who spoke directly and required direct answers? So many times, scholars will try to dipsy-doodle their way out of answering a hard question, and it's a yes or no question, with a yeah but or no but. And he had no time or tolerance for that, right? They found him rude, abrasive, extremely blunt, and unyielding his points. He would not move on until the caller answered the question directly. But what people seem to ignore is how long it took for him to get to the point of being rude to a caller, right? Many of his calls lasted upwards of 15 minutes, right? There's another reason why they used to watch the comment section, because they ain't had the time to be saying or listen to any people trying to, win an argument.
Anybody got time for that?
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I ain't got time to sit down and watch you trying to back and forth with a man with an argument that you can't win, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I used to watch that. So, but imagine, folks, you spending 15 minutes trying to explain the same concept to someone who is trying to defy logic and facts, right? Just think about it. Shoot, think about arguing with your children, right? And you know it is one thing and then trying to tell you something else, and you know full well who you saying many sense. That was his show most nights, right? Now, we've all heard about Big Shirley. I have a PhD. And of course, infamous You're Average at Best. Those are the clips that went viral on World Star, but there are countless other clips which outline what he was really trying to say and all of that. But those didn't go viral, right? So I want us to watch 2 such clips so that we get a clear picture of what he was really preaching past the viral clips, past the sensational stuff that we would have seen on World Star Hip Hop, etc. So we take a look at those clips and come right back, right? Listen carefully to what he's saying.
Yes, I want to see black men and black women together, but I want to see black women valuing black men as black men deserve to be valued. Black men, you are worthy. You have done great things in the last 20 or 30 years. You've taken your image back from cops, deadbeat dads, and everything else. You stepped up to the challenge, and this is your time. This is your time. The gender war is over. Average at Best happened in 2021. That is over. 2022, we're going into it. Self-awareness is sexy. Men are going to show the work, and women are going to show their worth. We're going to move forward. We're going to move forward, and if you want to move forward together with us, men are there waiting for you. Men are there working for you, but you're going to earn your spot because he has to earn his value. And in that way,
Get the other one here on screen. Just give me one quick second.
Those of you in the house, just hit the like button. See Jason asking you all to do that. We'd appreciate it so much. Hit the like button.
get her centered. Right, yo, let's go.
Hundreds of thousands of conversations I had is that women want everything. And most people can't afford that. And that's what I want to get down to. It's like, well, ladies, if you want a man who can provide a luxury lifestyle, do you want everything else that comes along with that? You may not see them as much, especially if they're corporate. I would just say this. If 10% of men or less can provide that lifestyle, 50% or more of women want that lifestyle. The numbers don't match. So if you can't get the 10%, what are you willing to do? And that gets translated into settling. I'm gonna be honest, a lot of times men are hearing they have to settle. Cool, if you got all the things you wanted, what is he gonna get? Me. And if we flip the script, there's no way in Hades you're gonna tell me that this woman would think it would be, she should settle for an average guy. She'd want someone on her level. So this is what men are saying. Men are saying, if it's all right for women to want the best, then we should want what we're worth.
Yeah. So you would have heard what he said. Talks about men talking about men having value. We talk about that all the time here. Men having value. And women recognizing that value. Right? That is the real crux of it. You know, people get caught up and people thought that, hey, you just attacking black women well, right? Unfortunately, guys, his passing hasn't changed anything for the ladies who are celebrating his death, right? They're still the same people who could have made their relationships work before he passed and even before there was an average at best. But no, men are aware of who they are, right? In celebrating his death, I suspect women have unwittingly brought more men over to the red pill side of the fence by their responses to the news of his death, right? Many men around the world, right, have noticed women's responses to his untimely demise and are surprised at best, disgusted at worst. But whether they are surprised or disgusted, no, they are aware, right? They may not say anything, but they're aware. Yeah, maybe we don't talk a lot, but we observe and we make decisions, right? And consider this, folks. People are hating on and celebrating the death of a man that called for women to be accountable for their actions, behavior, and choices, and for men to get a good deal in a relationship. Study that. Study that. People celebrated, and to be fair, it wasn't just women. People celebrated, men and women celebrated the fact that this man was gone. Okay? And you know what's funny, Neil? They talk about all the hurtful stuff he said about black men. And then you watch those same people talk about black women. And then you watch those same people say very hurtful stuff about him, about his family, etc., etc., about the men who support him. I found it interesting, right? So men, be warned, be warned. If a woman doesn't want you to get a good deal in the relationship, you need to leave her where she is. Because if you're going to watch that content, and all that you get from it, or all you glean from the content he's producing, is that he hates women, clearly you're missing something in the translation, something lost in the translation, right? Men have seen the ugly side of female nature over the past few days, right? And now even more of them are skeptical. You know, Neil, I told you we needed a watershed moment. A watershed moment was coming. I told you this. And this may very well be it, considering it comes so close on the heels of Cam Newton only a couple of weeks ago saying, you know, what men look for in women, right? But now, men seeing this and men are even more skeptical. Why are men skeptical? Do you know why that is? Somebody asked me, Derek, why are men skeptical? Write down in chat for me. Why are men skeptical about dealing with these women? Somebody put it in the chat there. Let me see.
As we wait for that, there's a good time to plug the show. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit notification bell so you don't miss anything. Most importantly, share with your friends so that we can get the conversation going, because we want the conversation to happen. We want the conversation to happen, right? So yeah.
Yeah, imagine this big up drug dealers and thing. Yeah. Do any man go jail? It's free this body, free that body.
Yeah.
We celebrating a man that dead because your man did call for you to be accountable, you know what I mean? Somebody else ain't kneeling chat.
No, but remember there's a little delay.
About
10 or 15-second delay or something like that. But the question is gonna come though, I assure it.
But I can tell him in the meantime, right?
Regardless.
Regardless, right? Why are men skeptical? Men are skeptical now, even more than before, because we know that even though his delivery was rough, he was right more often than he was wrong. This is the hurtful part. This is the part that's hurtful. Many women know it too, even if they won't admit it. Right? They know that the stuff he is saying makes sense in terms of helping them get the relationships they say they want. And you know how they can know too, Neil? You know how they know? Because what them doing right now ain't bearing the fruit.
It is.
What you want? Like fruit you want. Bird pick fruit. Big up to reap, man. Okay? Let me take a look at some of the things that we learned, right, Neil? We got some screenshots there from my guy Obsidian. Mumia as Obsidian Ali.
Right. We got it here when you're ready.
Top class content creator. And these are some of the things that he calls them the 12 sobering facts revealed by the Kevin Samuels show, right? One. I don't label all these as one, but one nonetheless. All black women want a high value black man. Yeah. And before some of you argue and say, oh, I want a man that got all this money and blah, blah, blah. If you were offered it on a platter, you would probably take it. So miss the man with the equivocation and the dipsy doodling that you don't need it and you don't want it. But
not only that too, Derek, high value does not necessarily mean monetarily. Right? Because remember we say that in Barbados, high value, there are many of them sort of men walking around. So our metric is a little different. A lot of women just want a man that is a good husband, father, provider, protector, etc.
Like, you gotta make some money, Neil. Let me be real.
No. I agree, but not to the tune of, let's say, millions of dollars.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You're talking Cowan busy and that kind of crew there, so
exactly
talking that kind of money, right? 2, all black women do not want an average at best guy, and that takes in with number 1, right? And let me be real, ladies. You know that if you got a guy that's 5'9" and a little bit of beer belly and thing, making $2,500 when you might come, you don't necessarily want that, right? 3, high value black men will not do exercise options and get away with it. Yeah. 4, average at best guys have no options they can get away with, right? So to translate the 2 of those points, 3 and 4. And we know it for a fact, Neil. Some men got carte blanche to do what they like because they got the money, they got the resources, they got the clout, they could get away with it. Right?
What did you say in chat today? Wherever those men are, women will. Wherever those men are, women will be.
So those men get a little bit more latitude, and they know the women can say, oh, I ain't saying nobody can't. If you put enough stock in that man, you will get away with some murder. 4, the average at best guys, we can't get that kind of option. We don't get that. Yeah. Benedict, the average at best guys is a war harm minimum. Yeah.
Shoot, and even that, I don't want to talk business, but based on something that was said today in the chat, a situation that went down. Shoot, sometimes you just gotta see somebody in a car.
Yeah, and even a horn, you know what I mean? Yeah. 5, high value black men don't do Big Shirleys. And for those of you who don't know who Big Shirley is a reference to women who are on the larger side, being discreet and diplomatic, and he would normally play a little sound effect, to talk about Big Shirley, right? That's 5. 6, all Big Shirleys claim to have dealt with high value black men, right? found that all the time too. 7. There are 6 times more single, successful, educated, and middle-aged black women than single, successful, educated, and middle-aged, read high value black men. Yeah, 6 times. Right? Based on how we see the educational numbers going in Barbados, Neil, and how the enrollment at UE goes and all that, we can say that this whole probably, it may not be 6 because of the numbers here in Barbados, but these numbers will definitely hold true here in Barbados, right? 8. Black women are delusional about their own mate value, what they can attract for a serious, long-term, non-sexual commitment and investment from black men. That is an important point, right? Delusional about their own mate value. So often, and we had this discussion on Saturday, right? We had this discussion on Saturday. A fella would look at a girl and say, hey, she look all right, you know? We already know that when it comes to the Rihannas and the Beyoncés and them kind of chicks, it's like, all right, that was some weight class. So, not weight class. That's a little misleading.
Right.
So let me go again. Them a little outside of my league. Fella will look at that and say, objectively speaking, I don't make that kind of money, my belly big or whatever. Rihanna ain't for me, right? Women, on the other hand, shoot, bring Idris Elba, bring Chris Hemsworth.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah, I may not be right and tight, but shoot, bring him, I can make it work. And look what he talks about. Right? Bigger Obsidian again, man. A fantastic creator, right? I would suggest, I recommend you all check Obsidian anytime, right? Long-term, non-sexual commitment. This is important. We talk about it all the time, Neil. A man will come for you at 237, but is he doing anything past that with you? Right? Does he want to? Can you maintain that relationship with that man? Because when we talk about it, it might be the last call before the jury gains, right? But, you know, can you maintain a relationship past sex with that man, right? That is the important part. But if I'm watching the show, they don't understand what is required to do that. And they don't understand where they really rank. And yeah, let me talk about it. Ranking is a thing. You know, you don't want to rank women and men should be ranking women and stuff like that. Women rank men all the time. You rank men. They may not say, 1 to 10, but they rank men all the time, right? 9. This is important. It was interesting to me. This one made me laugh. Black men aren't interested in men's fashion, candles, cologne, self-improvement, or leveling up. And consider anything along those lines gorilla simping. Gorilla simping. That was like simping on steroids.
Yeah, mega.
Shout out Derek Johnson. Yeah. They are good. They are good with their lives and how they live it as it is, and that their assortative mating equal the average at best black woman needs to be knocked down a peg, also known as whoop that trick. Yeah. So what we seeing here, and we see it here in Barbados too, right? You can have an average guy who figures that, hey, average woman, we match, right? The average women are not looking at it that way. Because as far as the girls consider, shoot, I went UE, I got my degree. By rights, I should be getting above a man that is a mason, a carpenter, whatever, right? A garbage collector.
Fireman.
Without understanding that, hey, mating don't work like that. We still look at attractiveness, right? And at the end of the day, if a fella say, hey, I ain't the best looking, so I can't expect to get the best looking girl. Women in processing like that. You know what I mean? And that is when he talks about black women need to be taken down a peg. But here's the thing, that particular concept, that particular attitude is not going to change. So, black men, we are required now to level up again. If indeed we do intend to want to have a partner, we have to level up. That's why, didn't like we talk on this show, we talk about making sure you look a certain way, carry yourself a certain way. No, round is not a shape. Get in the gym, work out, make sure you smell a certain way, make sure you press your clothes, wash your clothes, and kind of things. Because you will, if you intend to get a woman, those are the things you're gonna have to do. Right? So yeah, you can go again to some colognes. Yeah. Yeah, you can go and level up. Or you can have to do like my girl said, I remain.
Wait, man. Play shit again there.
Fellas, if you don't want to level up, you can go and stop. You know what I mean? That's how it goes, right? 10. Black women view mates, read black men, as amenities, not as another struggle to deal with. That is so important. I can do bad all by myself. Yeah, that is very, very real. But I ain't gonna touch that point tonight because we got marriage to talk about. 11. The only black women who disagree with Kevin Samuels are either too old, too disagreeable, too unattractive, or big Shirleys. And we had an interesting discussion on Saturday night, right? There's a very attractive young lady who happened to be there. And she is a huge Kevin Samuels fan. Huge. Yeah. Attractive, but not disagreeable. She ain't old. You know what I mean? And she's cool with all his talking points. And then when you look at the people who disagree, when we go through, we scan through Facebook and we see who's disagreeing with his talking points. Yeah, it kind of matches. This is not scientific evidence. This is very much anecdotal, but observable reality will tell you that number 11 is spot on. So let me go to number 12. The only black men who disagree with Kevin Samuels are either too broke, too uncouth, too unmotivated, or too jealous. This too, much like 11, holds very, very true. Again, it's scientific, but based on observable reality, we notice that, hey, someone wanna just ain't feeling like doing it, you know? Anyhow, we get back here, right? Kevin Samuels wanted men to know they had value. That's something we preach here on this channel too, right? Imagine that. And this is a real sticking point where he was concerned. Many women do not like the fact that he raised the bar for what men in general, and black men in particular, should accept in relationships. Because now it means that they themselves have to raise their game. Kevin Samuels and other people in the manosphere are encouraging men to want better for themselves and ask for better deals in relationships with women. I think that is only fear, right? For decades, there has been one-way traffic in terms of the demands and requests being made in relationships, and men have been expected to accept whatever is meted out to them. But now that is changing, and it is quite uncomfortable for women. You notice that, right? Kevin Samuels wanted women to recognize that their men had value and deserved to be treated as such, right? He wanted men to provide for and protect their women. Let me not miss that point, right? That needs to be clear. That's something he actually had a stream where he says that men should pay all the bills, right? He had a stream that said that men should strive to provide everything financially for their household, right? So that's something too that he pushed. He also talked about black couples getting together and marrying, but you know, well, that we may part ways a little bit, right? Especially given the current climate in terms of, you know, the law courts and all that, right? Let me be clear. Right here. Let's say there's a point. Let me stick a pin, right? I've been married before. I am not against the institution of marriage. Let me say that, right? I have a very good friend.
Say a word. Say a word. Come on now.
Yeah, I have a very good friend, my boy Mark, right? Mark is married and to a woman who's older than he is, right? And they are two of my favorite people on earth, right? Love both of them to death, right? I think Mark has a good deal, and that's great. You know what I mean? And some of the things he would have shared with me, how they're setting up their marriage and stuff like that. I have no problem with it, right? Where I do have a bit of a grouse is when I see the situation set up for men to get fleeced, right? When I see the situation set up for men to be taken advantage of, and especially in a time when we talk about equality and all that, that's where the sticking point comes for me. I saw a post yesterday or the day before, where this lady's holding a placard and she's saying, you don't want to pay any of the bills, but then you want to divorce him and take half, right? And that made me smile. That resonated with me a little bit. But so let me be clear, because people think that, I am this ogre and again, I'm misogynist and all this. I am not against the institution of marriage, right? And I tell you, Neil, anytime you see that I come into some money, probably get married, right? But in terms of how it is rated and stuff like that, and the possibility, considering when you get married, all right, let me not talk about marriage right now. Talk about that in another stream, right? Kevin Samuels wanted women to make an objective assessment of themselves, men to do the same, make an objective assessment of themselves, and then operate accordingly based on your mating value, not your personal self-worth. That is something totally different. Your personal self-worth is totally different from your sexual mating value. So don't conflate the two, right? So he wanted people to make an objective assessment of themselves, operate accordingly. Apparently, that was a very difficult assignment. And 2 years, well, it's been a year and a half since the average at best, we are seeing that it was a very difficult assignment.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Dislike, comment, share, subscribe. Hit notification bell so you don't miss anything. And let us build this community, because we are the Senate Podcast. Now, my brother, what I find particularly interesting with Kevin Samuels thing and a lot of people that falling out and the whole divide between men and women. I said it today in the group chat. I feel like we're in a Mexican standoff. I feel like there is animosity on both sides for men and women. Women having believed that or hold the impression that men are no good, in that men are serial cheaters, abusers. We don't protect, value, or treasure women as they believe we should. And men simply just want to have themselves valued in the relationship and not feel, as you always say, that they're getting a raw deal. They don't want a contentious woman. They don't want a woman that is argumentative or, just mean-spirited in her and emasculating, right? I found it interesting because this came after I read something today via Twitter, and essentially it was saying that women don't care about men's preferences or opinions. Women just continue to stand firm in what they will not tolerate. And I found that interesting because, to me, what Kevin Samuels was saying, right, how I would interpret his live streams and certain things that he would say, is essentially the same way that women are setting their value, and the same way women are standing up in their value and saying we are not tolerating certain things, as you should. I would never tell you not to say you don't think you deserve. right? Good, bad, or indifferent regards to the consequences, right? If you feel that you deserve X, you feel you deserve X. Kevin Samuels is essentially saying that there are men out there doing the work. There are men that have their lives together. There are men that have their presence and have their value, and they too want what they want and that they're not tolerating, right? So the same way women don't want to be abused. That is fine. Women should not be abused. You should not be in a marriage where anybody putting hands on you or saying things to you that make you feel less than human. Even though men don't get abused at the same clip as women, in terms of physically, we know that there is emotional abuse. There is psychological abuse, right? Particularly in the black community. All Kevin Samuels was saying is, men, get your act together. Women, get your act together. And men, stop sitting back and tolerating certain situations in your life. Whether you average, whether you are, well, if you're average, it should be better. But the point is, you should not tolerate disrespect. You personally doing a lot for your life. You're going about doing things. Do not tolerate somebody that doesn't appreciate that doesn't value you for doing the things that you are doing, particularly in a relationship. So this is I used to watch his live streams, and I would watch all of them. Like you, Derek, I didn't like the call-in segment of it, but I would watch it because, even though I don't like that whole, I still believe in respect and a certain level of decorum whenever you're engaging somebody, right? Because me, you could have differing opinions, and I don't know you, but I will still respect you, and I will still treat you with a level of respect, right? Kevin Samuels, especially once he realizes that the person going on the line and he perceives disrespect, he will go, he would lose his tact in terms of dealing with the person. However, in watching those, I still found that there were important things that came out of it. For example, yes, I didn't necessarily like calling women Big Shirley and pointing out a woman overweight, etc., etc. But it is kind of important in showing you that you want a man to be in shape, or you want a man that is of high value, making 6-7 figures when the year come, and you are overweight and unwilling to do anything about it. Whenever you look at a success, you see success is wrapped up in many different things. For people, success is wrapped up in several different things. But for a man that is making a certain level of money when the year come, right? He is going to value a certain level of success around him, right? He may not be the best in shape man, but he will try his best to at least live a certain way, right? A true high value man will be making his money, keeping himself in shape, aligning himself with the right people, knowing when and where and how to speak, and generally be a kind, thoughtful person when it comes to knowing how to navigate through certain avenues. I'm not saying that the person is not going to be ruthless in business or whatever, but still, a man that Kevin Samuels is talking about, particularly for what he wants for black women, is a man that has some semblance of self-respect and respect for others, right? When a woman comes and she is overweight, right? For that high value man, he is seeing someone that, we talk about it all the time, there are health concerns there, right? There is a level of attractiveness that person must have, and then there is a level of, you taking this person on business meetings, trips, certain things like that. This person is a millionaire. This person is a person that is moving in some circles where part of that presentation is, who you align yourself with. You showing who you are by who you reflect who you are, and what you perpetrate is based upon the people that you associate with. Right? So if you associate yourself with somebody that's contentious, and same goes with men. Sorry, not men, but same goes with men to men. Same goes with anyone. I don't align myself with people that I think are reprehensible. I try not to align myself with people that don't know time or place, that don't have respect, that don't have a certain level of understanding of how to treat people. You know what I mean? So I don't see what is the problem with some of the things he said. Was his delivery sometimes really rough? Yes. Was it kind of cringeworthy at times? Yes. But if you can separate that moment of feeling trepidation with how he is delivering the message, and you actually listen to the message and even go and look up the numbers that he states and certain things, like they had a lot of things he said and didn't even give numbers, and I would ask myself, okay, but what's the percentage of what you're saying? And I will fact check it, and it is so. Right? The problem is that people, you said it at the beginning, people listen to respond. People just want to be upset and to have a villain. Right? People just want to have a struggle, or people need an oppressor so that they can feel like they need to take down something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people want a cause.
People want a cause. So to me, people will look at Kevin Samuels and anyone that even supported, even want a iota of anything that he's ever said. Those people want someone to vilify, and they want a cause to latch onto because of social proofing that you talked about and different things. But the question tonight is, what did we learn from Kevin Samuels? And Derek laid it out very well. I mentioned it just now. What happens here after here now is, and I was thinking about this today, you often say that men are seeing what is going on now with the women turning on to Kevin Samuels, etc. Right? My fear is that people memory short, right? People memory short, and at the end of the day, people get lonely, and people tolerate ignorance. My fear here is that you can see all of these women now. You can see the attitudes and behaviors, and even some men that don't even listen to Kevin Samuels or don't even know about what's going on, seeing the behavior and the attitude towards his death on certain people and saying, "Yo, that's a bit extreme and lacking of decorum." My problem is that a year, 2 years, 3 years now, and nobody kind of fills that void, or you don't take in that content, you can kind of associate with those sort of people again. And another thing too is that I think that as much as you don't have to like his message, the only thing I ask is that you listen to it. Give it a listen. Don't listen to clips. Don't listen to the average at best. Don't listen to the big Shirley. Listen to there are so many live streams that the man has, right, where there are no clippable moments. Where I watched a live stream. I actually watched a live stream. One of the last live streams that went on before he passed. They literally were like everybody, young women, younger than 35, were all having the discussion. He was not being, he wasn't rude. It was a two-hour stream. It was almost a 2-hour stream, and there was no contention, there was no rancor, and it was just a back and forth and discussion. Because
but the conversation only goes that direction when those women take it in that direction.
Women and men, because some men is coming and try to push a button too. But the point is that to me, I see that there are good women out there. I see that there are women that really do want to have a mate, and through life, through decisions they would have made, and people just being a-holes and stuff like that, they are alone, they're on the other side of 35, and they want to have that companion going into the back nine of their life. So there are women that are listening and are willing to shoot. I got women. I was impressed in that conversation. There was a woman that was college age, was like 23, fresh out of college, right? Having taken a humanities subject, and she was very agreeable, right? Another woman was 26. She was married, very agreeable. She understands where she's making mistakes in her marriage. And she understands that listening to some of her friends, some of the ideologies and mentalities that some women have that don't make sense if they want a partner. Now, if you don't want a partner, if you don't not interested in marriage or having a successful relationship or any relationship at all with a significant other or anything like that, you can behave how you want to behave. That is fine. Yep. But all Kevin Samuels was telling you is if you're looking for a relationship, particularly with a man of a certain value, be taking certain things. And so I want people to listen to Kevin Samuels, or if you don't listen to Kevin Samuels, listen to Kevin Samuels. I think it's best to start with Kevin Samuels because to me, he did a good job of his message. Listen to a few live streams. Don't listen to clips. Don't listen to parts. Listen to it. Because when it comes to the opposite side and women want their content to be heard and their struggles to be heard and their perspectives to be heard, if you don't listen to it, if you just take a clip of it, if you just take part of it, all of a sudden you're a part of it. So you're never taking time to listen to the message. You understand me? How dare you come and say it? So you gotta kind of make up your mind. If by y'all reasoning for not liking Kevin Samuels and saying all these disgusting things since he has passed is because hate begets hate. Essentially, Kevin Samuels was mean and misogynistic to women, so why should I give a damn? I could say and do what I want. He get on a public platform and he says certain things about black women. Me as a black woman, I could say what I want on a public platform about him. Take the time to listen to his message so that you can understand where he was coming from. I know you will not do it, but then if you will not do it, don't come and confuse people that do listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Because you. Another thing I realized too, I know I can wrap this up soon. Another thing I realized about people too, right? Particularly people that were celebrating his death. People don't want to listen. See, people don't want to listen to things that go contrary to their world belief, to their ideologies. Yep. Right? People have no time for that. And they label things. They try to devolve things into feelings because you can't argue against feelings. Derek, you can't argue against me feeling sad and depressed. You can't come and argue with me if I'm happy and gleeful. So if I can take an argument rooted in fact and rooted in a certain perspective that has and is rooted in fact, my job is to devolve that into feelings. I saw that with my own two eyes with the interaction I had with somebody on Facebook, right? Where numbers were disregarded. Person said it was skewed and that data is corrupted or whatever. Uh-huh. And they tried to go into the fields. So they talked about, they quoted Malcolm X from a 1962 speech where Malcolm X, and I can kind of, I'm not going to quote directly, but he basically says something that the most oppressed person walking this planet or walking the earth or walking America is the black woman. She's unprotected. She is disrespected, disregarded, and oppressed. Right? That was 1962. And that person quoted that. Because you see, people like quotes.
It's been quoted in here before too, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right? But that's the point. The point is if I come from a perspective and say, you know what? This pen is yellow. Here is the data that shows you that this is yellow. You're going to come and you're going to say that data is corrupted because, you know, here are the failings in data. Every piece of data has failings. Science has failings. Very few things without empirical data can be corrupted. Data pools can be corrupted, right? But we still have to start from a jumping point. So I've said this pen is yellow. Everybody comes and says, no, that pen is green, you know, because green pencils don't get enough love. All of a sudden, no, we had people see green pencils, and I remember in 1972, there was this green pencil debacle, and a lot of people were hurt and killed in that, and we are not going to use that anymore. So you know what? We're giving love to green pencils. I often say two things can be true at the same time. The same way women who have a different set of struggles and rules in this society than men have their struggles that are unique to them too. We have to protect black women. I agree with that statement. But we must not foster ignorance. We must not foster bad behavior. And black men need protecting too. Because as much as people like to think and say black women need protecting or whatever, you think that black men out here thriving in a society in this West? You show me anywhere in the world that the black community is thriving in a like be black men on the totem pole in significant numbers versus other races. So if you don't want to listen to Kevin Samuels' full message and you want to write him off as a patriarch, a party patriarchy and a misogynist, that is fine. If you want to get arguments and say, if you want to come and speak in feelings and absolutes to generate feelings, anybody that listens to his message is part of the patriarchy and party problem, that is fine. Right? But at the end of the day, as my mother is always say, he said this in group chat, and another friend of ours, Justin Marvel, time is undefeated. And time is going to show. Derek said it's a watershed moment, right? And I do agree. I think that Kevin Samuels' passing is going to show a few things. If nothing else is going to show, you see people that don't want to listen. You see people that don't want to have a good faith argument or not even argument, but a discussion or debate. Just left them. Leave them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta leave them where they are.
Just leave them where they are because you will never win an argument with somebody that just want to discuss feelings. You will never win. Right? You could bring all the equivocation you want. You could bring all the. You will never out feeling somebody that is rooted in feelings. So let them pass and let us. First things first. We are a space of men. The Red Pill community is a space of men, and Kevin Samuels' space was to empower men. So you know what? We are empowering men to be better. Be better and do better. You know, get yourself up, get in the gym, you know, try to get yourself and your money up if you want a certain caliber of life and woman. Right? Second thing is that women, if you are here and you may not even be on board with everything Kevin Samuels says, but you want to get a better understanding of men's perspective. Because there are a lot of women that come here that don't like Kevin Samuels' message, don't like what he's saying, but still like our delivery and how we bring over things, etc. Because we're not coming from a space of being mean spirited or operating out of good faith. We operating from a space of genuine, right? So to those women, what I will say is, if trust me and believe, if you like what we are saying, if you see certain merits in what we are saying, consider listening to Kevin Samuels. Right?
In good faith.
In good faith. And understand that with any other thing in this life, with anybody that has a platform and a following of people, it is like shopping at the supermarket. When you go to the supermarket, the next time you go, look at how many brands of pasta there is. Look at how many types of pasta there are. When you go to the supermarket, you don't see, look at all this pasta. Take it all. You can take out the ones you like, or you can leave out the ones you don't like. Just like anybody else, you take what they say and you analyze it and process it. There is value in everyone and things they say. Shoot, Donald Trump. There are black people that believe that sees certain values in some of the things he says, but don't like Donald Trump and don't like the message that he stands for. But they understand certain things that he says there is merit and value. You understand what he's saying? So if you want this woke, progressive, open-minded society, which is hilarious to me because a lot of people that claim that Kevin Samuels is reprehensible, misogynist, patriarchal, and I'm glad that he's dead. Those people who claim to be woke, open, and progressive don't want to hear Kevin Samuels and his message because that is, as they consider it, closed-minded and regression. But they never took the time to listen to his message. I've literally heard people over the last few days said, I have never heard anything from him other than the average at best or certain videos. And to me, he is misogynist.
And they formulated a lot of people have formulated an opinion based on clips and based on the responses people have made to the clips. They haven't seen the clips, but somebody tell them about the clip and they went with it. They formulated, take up for a range to see what people say.
Right. So nobody want to listen. Everybody open-minded and progressive, but we ain't trying to listen to that. I ain't trying to recommend the rest. So it is hilarious to me because as much as you're trying to open up and create a progressive society where you do not listen to every piece of content that comes out. I'm not talking about people that really push in hate. Like, there are people out there, take the KKK, Ku Klux Klan. I ain't talking about those people that their fundamental belief is that we do not value black people. You understand what he's saying? There are certain messages that are out and clear. It don't make sense listening, especially, if you identify as that category, right? But then there are some categories. To me, this is how I would look at it if I came to this Kevin Samuels thing. I would say, all right, I never heard it's Kevin Samuels, man. On one hand, I see the average at best, and people talking about how one of the man was a misogynist and whatever. And then I see a man and women speaking glowingly about him and his message. So now I gotta do some research for myself if I really want to get to the point. Like, if as a black person that is interested in the betterment of my community, I must listen to form a basis to see if what he is saying is valid or if he really is a misogynist or patriarchy saying, you know what? These women ain't got no value. Keep these women in the kitchen and barefoot and pregnant and smack them every now and then when you get a chance.
And he's never said those
he has never even alluded to that. As a matter of fact, he cries down those things. He's never said anything about. All he has said when it comes to women's success is that if you have a high value man, if you have a man that is of a certain level of success, with two one that can be of that same level of success. So if he is different, like same thing with Will and Jada, right? The same way, man is not telling you to be ambitious. The man ain't telling you not to work. The man ain't telling you not to do certain things. But if you have a man of a certain status and a certain level of monetary finances or whatever, but two bulls can't run in a China shop. Not if you got a family. I'm talking about in context of a marriage
But
and a
people,
family.
we are obsessed, Neil, with the idea of the power couple. That is, I mean, we are obsessed with that idea without recognizing that, yeah, Jay-Z and Beyonce is a power couple, but Jay-Z is the bigger Mobby. You know what I mean? Will and Jada is a power couple. Will is the bigger Mobby. Well,
I also consider. You see, there's again, my problem with the power couple. Let's look at. I'm glad you bring up Jay-Z and Beyonce. They're a power couple.
Before you go in there, because you talk about him crying down certain things, let me also say that it was also so very quick when other races of women came to speak about black women. He was also very, very quick to cut that out. Like, yeah, this is a family discussion. You really can't come and talk about black women like that.
So you're saying that he did protect black women on his platform?
Yeah.
Anyhow, what I was saying, Jay-Z and Beyonce, right? Here's this thing about power couples. You look at Jay-Z and Beyonce, right? And you say, okay, both of them are successful in their own right and they're billionaires. Consider that they were successful before they got together. All right, fine, no problem. But also consider that we do not know what happens in their relationship. We know he had Becky with the good hair the other day. We see Solange beating the elevator. But they dealt with it behind closed doors and they reconciled. We don't know what the dynamic is in their relationship. We don't know if Jay-Z just come home and say, we don't know if he is the leader in their relationship or if Beyonce is. We do not know. But you know what? From all accounts, it is working. So as much as there's a power couple, when Jay-Z stands next to Beyonce, you don't see Beyonce walking up and say, well, it's Beyonce, so God bless. He's the star. Or you don't see Jay-Z walk up and say, oh, it's Jay-Z, I'm the star. Because they were successful in their own right before they got together. Individually, they are great entities. And so, if you want a power couple, and I have no problem with a power couple, but and that's in the context of business and career. In the relationship, me and you can't be two bulls. So it's either I take a back seat and you lead, or you take a back seat and I lead. Usually when you talk to women want to take a back seat and have the man lead. This is hilarious to me. Because whenever you talk to women and you talk about certain things, when it comes to choosing where to eat or choosing what we do on an evening or choosing on a date or choosing where to live or choosing certain things, by and large, women want men to lead. Yes, women want input. Yes, women would want to have a say, and that is fine. I'm not saying that women shouldn't have an input. But by and large, women want men to lead. How do I know this? Because we talk to a lot of women, and a lot of women, by and large, are tired of having to lead their single lives. Having to come home to apartments and go clean it by themselves and go wash the dogs and go cook food and got to get the car washed and everything like that. Some women just want to come home and focus on one element of the domestic or two things of the domestic thing. If you have a partner, you got the man say, here, tune, babe. You had a hard day at work and clean the dogs and you wash the car. You could clean, you could cook, or vice versa. It does not matter. The point is, you want somebody to share things with and lead certain situations. But I want to wrap up with this power couple thing. Meaning that I used to take charge. And we don't only want to be power couples in things that are glamorous, because we don't want to be power couples in the success, the perception of success. We don't want a power couple when it comes to cleaning the bathroom. Where's the power couple in that? Where's the power couple in saying,
don't eat garbage?
Yeah. Where's the power couple in cutting the grass? Nobody want to hear about that. So, either listen to Kevin Samuels and his entire message, listen to his content, or don't. But if you choose not to listen to his content, do not label anyone that supports him or listen to his message as misogynist, antiquated, or part of the problem simply because you do not know what he is saying. You've based and judged him on one clip or two clips. And people that are detractors of his. You have not taken the time to do your research. So if you've not taken the time to do your research and to see, all right, I've done my research and see this man is a misogynist. I've listened to people for and against him. I've listened to a few of his podcasts, and he is a misogynist. He is part of the patriarchy, and he hates black women. If you have done that and said that, that is all fine. If you've listened to 5 of the man podcast live streams and you have heard him in different spaces talking, he's spoken not only on his platform but all over the place on different platforms and different podcasts. If you've listened to him in various spaces and listened to him for a period of time, and you have come to the conclusion that he is a misogynist and all those bad things you say, I concede that for you. That's what you believe, that's fine. Right? But if you refuse to listen to him and you refuse to do that because you've labeled him a misogynist, tell me how different are you from people that label and have say on people without checking them out and judging them? How are you any different than people that view and judge black people that are not black? How are you any different from anyone that just label people without having an interaction or watching or reading content? You are no different. You've made a judgment. You've made an assessment. And you've chose to call him all sorts of things, right? So, in the end, we are in a Mexican standoff. This is the aftermath of Kevin Samuels. It has shown me that we are in a Mexican standoff. Men and women are in a Mexican standoff. Right? Nobody wants to listen to the other side. Nobody wants to blink. Nobody wants to put down their weapon. Because one side want things their way and they're not operating, in my opinion, in good faith when they come to talking points about these things, particularly when it goes against their perspective. And the other side, they just don't want to be, they may not want to do the same thing, nor do they want to be seen as vulnerable and taken advantage of. You understand? And so, in the end, we can be on this path for a while. But what I hope comes from it, Derek say he hoping man sees those women and supporters of those women that were dancing on Kevin Samuel's grave, that he hope people see those women for what they are. What I hope is that in the end, people become open-minded enough to listen to content that they have prejudged as going against what they believe, and to think and to listen. That's all it.
Because it's funny, right, dude? They had to they have to do that too. In terms of doing research for the show. They have to go into some places that I would rather not go.
Mm-hmm.
Places like Derail. Have to go watch some of that. Way too much of it for me. But to be fair, when you watch Derail, there are certain things that you hear and you say, all right, well, I guess that's a point. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Cynthia G, who spoke about, terminating black boys even before they were born. That's another set of content that is like, all right, I see your point is a little
extremist,
drastic, a little extremist, but I see the point you're trying to make. I don't agree with it. I can call it out, but hey, you see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's as you say, you don't want to form an opinion without having really kind of like delves into the content, right? And I find a lot of people kind of did that and kind of making a prejudgment, right? And you know where you call a prejudgment, you put that pre and judgment together, you get a prejudice. But then they will tell you that they're not. Let me dive in the chat.
No. Before you just one last point, because you just made a very good point. Whenever somebody makes a point and we don't agree with the point, and we keep it pushing. We call out the point, we keep it pushing. We are not calling this person, oh, she is a misandrist. We don't call this person, I personally don't label nobody reprehensible. I don't judge the person. You understand me? I don't judge the person, the act and the speech. What I saw since Thursday is anybody that believe in anything that Kevin Samuel says are misogynists, narcissists, patriarchal scumbags. You ain't attacking his points, nor are you attacking people that the points that people agree with. You're attacking the people, and you don't know these people. Again, how different are you than people that are prejudiced? Anyhow, go and chat.
Yeah, man. Again, see, Ramel came in. He said one of the arguments I saw people say about him was that he didn't practice what he preached. He had failed marriages, etc. I would like to hear your responses to that, right? Yeah, he had failed marriages, and shoot, I have one. He hasn't been married as yet, and but he did say he said it more than once on his show that he was open to the option of being married again, right? He didn't say that he wasn't about it at all. So yeah, that was something that is, and you know, he did take accountability. He never threw his ex-wives under the bus, because he said, hey, he was not the person he was supposed to be, and as such, the relationship went the way it did.
But let me add to that too, right? Because I hate when people come with that rhetoric. Is there not value in failure? Is there no value in going over the mountaintop, failing, coming back, and people that want to go over the mountain and want to find success say, you've been there, you have failed. What have you done?
Yeah, because that's like saying, oh, I don't want to get Steph Curry to learn to shoot because he missed shots on Ray Allen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's missed.
Right. So to me, there is some value in taking accountability for your failures, right? And saying, you know what, I have done things wrong. And here's the good thing about life, you know, Derek. You know, the good thing about life and the human condition? We can improve.
Yeah.
We can fail. We can know that we have failed, and we can say, you know what, I did that wrong. I have failed, and here I am. Jada has a platform based on some of the shortcomings in her marriage.
Exposing them to the world.
Nobody don't come and say, well, you got mad, don't please you. How you know what I'm saying about look at your marriage, you got open marriage and thing. The boy don't come and say, well, you know about marriage. By all accounts, she's still married. But the boy looking at 2 years and 3 years of all this entitlement, cheating, and all sorts of foolishness that she's doing. And the boy,
you know what? Let's do a little bit of whataboutism, Neil, because since you brought up that,
I have to.
Women love things like the real, right? And when you look at the real, we got Jeannie Mai, who's has a failed marriage. She's not remarried, and she's married to Jeezy. And let it be said here that she did say she likes her dark meat on the side. Yeah, this is what she was married to Freddie, right? Nobody calls out that. Nope. She got married to Jeezy. I guess now, you know, dark meat can come to the main course, right? Be good with that. Lonnie Love on the real, unmarried. I'd be cool with that. Steve Harvey, he's a comedian. He tells women about serious stuff, and they love that.
Oprah has never been married.
Ever in life. Good with that. Right? Be good with that. But as soon as somebody come and deliver some truths that are a little bit rough,
it's
like,
truth. The dipsy doodle.
Oh, this body and
what he know about
Derek Jackson. Derek Jackson married. I hope he horny wife up, down, left, right, A, B, select, start. Yeah. So, and you say you've been saying it the past couple of days, right? It matters not, Neil. It matters not. If people don't want to hear, they don't want to hear. They can find all kind of reasons.
Excuse. That's
an excuse to say, oh, but them is this and them is that.
Just not taking learning. Just not to hear it. Yeah. Just not to confront it.
So that's fine. If you don't want to hear, that's great. If you don't want to have a discussion or see an opposing point of view, if you can't see the merit in the things that Neil and I say, the things that everybody in the chat saying, if you can't see the merits in the things that other people across the world have been saying, because what you're doing right now ain't working out. We see the results, the marriage rate declining. Yeah? We see the results. More children out of wedlock. We see the results. Yeah? We know that when children are not raised with two parents in the home, etc., etc., etc. We know that. So, if you want to do what you're doing, do what you're doing. Just step quietly to the side and let people who want to have a discourse, who want to interact, do that.
without you trying to shame them, which is hilarious to me. Because you don't want to be shamed. Everybody consider it. When it comes to people that have messages contrary to you, you don't consider their feelings. You don't care now about you. There are people that don't care about me and their feelings. Don't care about it. But as soon as somebody encroaching with yours, cares.
That's cool. That ain't no problem.
That ain't no problem.
Good. You good. You see people in the chat. Let me just leave the chat a little bit. See Tango Fox saying, "Come now, senators, man, can't have no value." It seems that way. Can't have an apparently, right, Neil, to support Kevin Samuels means that you are all the ists that you could find, right? Apparently.
Yeah.
I've seen all kind of people, Marlon Wayans, for example. T.I.
The rip-up Marlon Wayans, boy.
Interestingly enough, Tasha K, of all people. Yeah, it's Tasha K saying that he was supportive of her when she, cause she got the whole ongoing thing with Cardi B, and she got to pay Cardi B like $4 million.
Yep.
She said that when everybody was ripping her to shreds, he was the only person that reached out and was like, "Yeah, just hope be all right," that kind of way, you know. But hey, that's the worst of human beings, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I see Kabir Kapoor. I hope that pronunciation is correct. I really hope I didn't butcher it for you.
Thanks for joining.
Truth always hurt. I guess took so much heat for showing stray men and women their true place. Wow. Stray men and stray women. Wow. Because them know them ain't gonna get the benefits. I remember what that was for. Wait till you see the footage of a woman dramatizing. Okay. Haters are no one but a bunch of lost Shirleys and beta simps. Kabir Kapoor is in here throwing flames. Remember when Shirley's came in a big package? I see you, man. I see you. That's old type stuff there. Yeah. There are a lot of the blue hairs, and those on the right side of history hate. Yes. Yeah. I better preach. Who will be the next torchbearers?
You see, the thing about Abner and Preach, though, they kind of cover everything. So Kevin Samuels was focused on a singular purpose. Abner and Preach, while they do create great content, theirs is more about any and everything. So they cover politics, they cover things that they see in the news, relationship things. They cover other content creators. So I don't know if they can take that mantle.
I think. Nah, I don't think they because the whole thing about it is a package thing too. Because you got this guy nicely dressed, etc., and being able to take the calls. Yeah, I think they'll be able to take the calls, but in terms of the physical appeal, the look of it, black women they calling in to hear them.
Yeah, because they can start talking about how dusty. Yeah. There'll be a lot.
It's a real weird package thing. Right?
I would say though, I believe that there's no one person that's going to take up the mantle if such a thing is going to happen. I think it's going to be a collaborative, collective effort. So
yeah, I kind of get the impression that, especially given the fallout and how people responded and all that, I suspect you can see more. You know who might be the guy? MTR.
Yeah, that's my pick too. Like he's gonna
MTR.
leave.
I think MTR may be the guy, but I think you can see more and more men standing on the square and saying, "Well, look, this is what I accepting. This is what I'm not accepting." I think you can see a bit more of that, especially since the passing and how people responded on social media and stuff like that. Right? Ruben says social media tends to amplify the most ignorant voices / opinions. That's why people starts dancing people's smartphones. People want their ego stroked and not to hear the truth. It's a hard thing to swallow at times if you aren't ready for it. Yeah, said Cherish. Crystal agreed, Neil, protect both of them, black men and women. Yeah, and that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about, right?
So we acting as though is the world against black women only, We behave like the world out just to get black women. But nobody is seeing that black men lump with black women. Other races don't see black men. As a matter of fact, there is a school of thought that back in the day, Jim Crow era and stuff like that, get rid of the black men. Let me really get rid of the black men, and the black women will have no one to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and at that time in history, we were the most married.
Okay then.
Right?
And we are not now. Just saying.
Certainly not now. Bit crowd are some of the most offensive, intolerant, and misinformed. I'll comment to that. See Philip in the house. Good night to you, Philip. Good to see you. You said the bad words, Neil. I have to do research for myself. People don't do that. Unfortunately, they do. They do research for themselves, but they find stuff that confirms what they think. Right?
Things
look at the vaccine stuff, right?
Yep. People do research, but they do research for things that support their arguments. Nobody does research and look at the entire picture.
Yeah. See Ramel Hall. Yeah, good night.
Shout out Ramel. Well, good morning to Ramel, because
no any crank. Neil and Jay-Z and Beyonce got people to clean their bathrooms, Neil. Keep that in mind, right?
Yeah, true.
All jokes aside, Ramel says, I was really shocked and disappointed to see the merriment and the joy from otherwise sensible people rejoicing in a man's death. It was also deeply disturbing, to be honest. I remember when Ramel messaged me, I was a little surprised because I didn't expect. I know Ramel to be a fairly even keel, mild-mannered guy.
And he don't really check for them sort of things, to be honest.
And he don't really check for that kind of thing. So when Ramel messaged me to say that he was a little taken aback by what he was seeing, the exchanges he was seeing in the response, I knew that something was really going down. It seems as if all across Europe and stuff like that, people are actually mourning the death of this man. And there are just as many people celebrating the death of this man. So that's what yeah, as Roman says, all because a man had a different opinion. Yeah.
But did he
call me in the chat?
But to that, do you think he had a different opinion? Or do you think that, because I don't necessarily think people get on him because he had a different opinion. I think they got on him because of his approach of his. Because I think when you talk to some of these people that are his detractors, right? They want to see the black community. They want to see the best for black men. They want to see black families and black people get together. But they don't like the man. Don't like the man message. Think that the man's misogynist. So
it's just the delivery. I guess the delivery, because the delivery is a little rough. And I say it here too, 2 + 2 is 4, whether you whisper or shout it. 2 + 2 is 4.
We see people get beaten to them. We see people get beaten to them, and we see people get whispered to them. People just respond different to different stimuli.
And here's the thing: I heard somebody say it before. Man, we've tried to say it, whisper it. We tried to say it nicely, but they don't want to hear. So now we got this guy that coming in like a partner might call it a blunt force instrument. The same way, this is where it is, and people still calling in. Right? Funny. Yeah. Kwame says, "Hail Senators, busy tonight, but had to pop in and endorse." The not funny thing is that his appalling reaction has drawn a line in the sand and validated his toxicity that was previously at bay. You'll see people like Fresh and Fit and their ilk not start to get followers, where KS and similar provided an intelligent buttress for that more skewed perspectives. Carry on. Just because a marriage ends, it should not be seen as a failure. It was an experience that taught you some unique lessons. Girl,
Carrie coming with shit. She coming with shit
logical here.
No, but I care about that. I come and talk about relationships, and I got the successful relationship. I should mount and keep pushing here.
Exactly, that's what it is. It's a deflection, Carrie. You know that too. We got some interlopers in the chat, Neil.
Yeah, I deal with them already. It's just I can't get rid of them. I cannot get rid of them in this chat. As a matter of fact, let me try something. But I can't get rid of them. Because that's a third-party program that putting it on screen here. So whatever comes,
that's Kevin Samuels, guys. Love him or hate him. A lot of the stuff he was saying, I am sure many men identify with, and they understand where he's coming from, and just because somebody, understands for another point of view, doesn't mean, like, people like to say, oh, and this is a debating thing, if you like one thing, it means then that by rights you can't like something else, or because you like one thing, you are now X, Y, and Z. No, I can like this. I can take from this what applies to me. I can discard the rest. As I would say to you, Neil, I don't watch the calling segment of the show. I watch the monologue for the talking points. Is it every talking point I like? No. For example, he says, the value men don't cheat, they explore options. I don't really agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
If you choose to get married, you're married. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
That's the social contract.
That's the contract. You don't decide whether you're going to step up my wife or walk out and do as they like. Nah. Even if you do have the option to do that. I don't agree with that point. Right? I didn't agree with when the plus size ladies call in and decide to, get hype or whatever. You would get in the Big Shirley music.
Yeah.
That's entertainment stuff. I ain't watching for that. I ain't listening to be entertained. I listening
to check in little knowledge. Yes, sir. Agreed. Completely.
There's a difference. And I talk about that at the top of the show in the monologue. Why do you listen? Are you listening or are you hearing? Right? Are you listening or are you hearing? And somewhere along the line, we gotta work out. Because trust me, I know that some of these things are very hard to hear. Right? Some of these things are very difficult to swallow. I get it. Because it goes against, it's contra to everything that we've been taught growing up. Everything. So it's always going to be difficult to kind of assimilate that new knowledge, right? Accommodate it first and then assimilate it, right? So I get it, I understand it, but you can't say that because somebody listens to this man or even supported this man. Now, first of all, you can't dismiss everything the man said. You can't, because there's some things I did I just rooted in fact.
Boy, see people tell it, especially men that are supporters or not supporters, sorry, that are detractors of his. Hear them tell it, boy. Shoot, if you sit down and listen to 5 minutes of he, boy, you agree with 1 point. They end of you.
Yeah.
Patriarchy, misogyny.
Which is funny because the things that his talking points, watch people's actions. Watch people's actions. You may say you don't agree with what he's saying, but how you living? Yeah? How you living?
Or how are you to judge? Who are you to judge? Which is hilarious.
No, I don't mean in terms of how you living, in terms of your I mean in terms of your man-woman relationships.
No, I agree.
Because there's certain things that he would talk about and say, well, look, every man want attractive woman. Don't care who the is, high value or no value. Every man wants an attractive woman.
And yes, there are plus size attractive women. However, we want women to not be contentious. So if you're contentious, so you got contentious woman that's overweight.
What's really boggled my mind is that he pushes back against these things, and you're pushing back against him, pushing back against these things, which is like, so you want contentious women in your life? That's what you're saying to me?
People should have the right, Derek, to be contentious.
You do. You have the right to be single as well, Neil.
I understand. You play country games. Well. But for some reason, when you say these things, you point them out. Doom and gloom.
You can't say them. You can't say.
Cancel them.
You know what I mean?
So,
my man Ruben saying some people like pizza but don't eat the crust. Facts.
No. Those people, we should ostracize those people.
Don't eat the crust. Anyhow, folks, it is 9:34 in Barbados and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. It's been an interesting show. It's been we enjoy sharing some time with you all as always. And tune in again on Thursday. We got another live stream coming for you. Hopefully we can get to marriage. Hopefully something else will pop up to kind of derail that particular show. We got marriage on the docket. We got age gap dating on the docket. We got a whole lot of stuff to talk about in the coming weeks. We got to find a time to take a vacation, Neil.
Yeah, boy.
We've been cranking for a while, so
yeah, boy.
Yeah, folks. Thanks for being here with us as always.
Before you close, I want to implore people to share, particularly this one too, because I don't feel like we have to defend Kevin Samuels and his message. Again, I believe our content is just to get people to think. If you are confronted with the evidence and you choose not to see the evidence, you choose to still state viewpoints and not even consider what our perspective is on coming from it, if you want to call us labels and stuff, then maybe it's time to look in the mirror and kind of prejudge yourself, right? But I really do want people to share this with your friends. And even if it's an experiment, share it with certain people that you know are detractors and see what their response would be. It's just interesting, you know, it's just an interesting social phenomenon to me, how people that want to seem woke and progressive are behaving.
Yeah.
Seems close-minded to me, but anyhow.
Interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Any full thoughts? You can ignore reality all you want, but you cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. We do not make the rules, we just make sure you know what they are, right, guys? Be the best version of you for you. We can see you all again. Maybe kind of about on Thursday. We got a short coming for you tomorrow. I hope you all enjoyed Mr. Alves yesterday. I was thoroughly entertained. But yeah, I just got the numbers. We have 598 today.
Damn.
Yeah, we up there. 598. Let me not deserve Jerry Don.
But the desk, we ain't had a desk though.
I didn't look at that part. I just look at the numbers. The big number I top to see what we're doing. Yeah. So guys, be careful out there. Remember. Yeah. So if being a man means it can toxic, stay toxic. See you guys on Thursday.